city of angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC Podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Good evening, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 201 of the Heart of LAFC Podcast. Yeah, it happened. We had a rivalry match. It came, it went. No one was entirely satisfied, of course, because of the outcome. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think today's bigger focus will probably be on the match ahead, since it's kind of shocking, between the news and lineup needs. I think it's going to pretty much take the majority, but we'll cover a little bit of the rivalry match because how could we not? So that being said, welcome, everybody. Today, our guests, our co-host for the day, of course, is Tony, Bam, and Ox after a little while. Brother Ox, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thanks. How about you guys?
Good. It's late out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 11:30.
Yeah, the night owl. Yeah,
Yep.
He's the night owl, everybody. This is the norm for Ox. He loves being up in the middle of the night. So in his environment all the way. Tony, how are you doing, sir?
I don't know. I'm like in the middle of happy that someone woke up and actually played the game, but it's a tie.
Right.
It's kissing your sister, as someone would say.
Right. Great expectations, little in the way of satisfaction. Definitely. Bam, how are you doing, sir? Are you still locked away in a submarine and can't escape?
Yep, being extended to the end of the month. Keep getting extended.
Feels like a prison sentence a little bit of house arrest. Wondering if you got an ankle bracelet or not at this point, because it's pretty wild.
No, not at this point. But at least I get to watch all the international World Cup qualifiers, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you were mentioning earlier. Any big surprises today, or that we would need to check out? Yeah.
Japan lost 1-0 to Oman.
Wild.
Yeah, that was an interesting result. I'll give you that. Australia beat China 3-1. Was it Jamaica just unfortunately lost to Mexico? I saw that. 90th minute winner by Mexico. So there's some good matches out there.
Like I says, unfortunate when pretty much 80% of our fan base is like, yeah, it was kind of cool.
You take it, but you got to feel sorry for Jamaica a little bit. They held on as long as they could.
Aren't they also not pretty much most of their players are not even able to play at all either?
Yeah,
there's been some release issues, right?
Yeah, they're the whole Europe Premier Red Zone can't go. It's that's literally their whole team, and that's just I don't know. They don't want to pretty much lose their countries. I don't want to wait 10 days or whatever their protocol is. It's just dumb, I feel like.
Yeah, international duty right now is a little bit odd. Let's be honest. We all want to see the qualifiers. We want to see the international games, but you're kind of well, when it happens, we know somebody's not going to come back completely clean. Right? There are going to be incidents everywhere. And it's just well, if they got the vaccine, they'll get through it. It seems to be the vibe now. But yeah, it is kind of an odd world that we're in. That's for certain. I know the U.S. tied tonight as well. I think I saw that correctly. If you think drawing the Galaxy is infuriating, just imagine drawing El Salvador. I mean, it's on the road. I know it's hard to play there, but still, you're the U.S. You're trying to get back onto it since, World Cups kind of aren't your thing for right now. And so you need to make it your thing. So not getting a result on the first match out ain't the greatest. So no excuses on who's in the lineup or who's not. It's still stacked. So it is what it is. All right, enough about international stuff. Let's get into the LAFC vibe. Obviously, we played Carson on the weekend. It was one heck of a wild match. Our lineup, I think, was pretty typical. I don't think there was a big shock as to who we saw in there, so we're not going to focus too much on who we had. Of course, Carson gave off a different approach. Bam. What was their approach towards us in this match?
They went with a 4-2-3-1 approach. So they had Bond in gold, Hammerline, Williams, Colby, and Arunga in defense. Midfield, although it was a 2-3, it's more 5 in the midfield, with Reveslausen, Dos Santos, Varquez, Leggett, and Cabral, and then Jolic up front by himself.
Which he's kind of struggled to get into, but this game looked like he was living the part. That's for certain.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Looked like him and someone else stepped up.
Right. Yeah. And some people didn't quite step up to give him an opportunity too. So that was a bit of a thing. Well, I mean, kicking the match off, I'll just say this. I'm going to give Tony the chance to do the recap, but I got to say the 32-52 in the first 5 minutes of that match, our ears were ringing. That was probably one of the loudest days we've ever had to start off a match. Kudos to everyone that was able to do that in that heat, middle of the day. But really, the call to arms was the perfect play. If you were going to call it out, that is the best way to do it, and they did it in style, really dictating things from the early get-go. So shout out to everybody in 32-52 and the rest of the stadium who all jumped into this to make it a wild beginning. So shout out to everybody there. Tony, take it away, sir, with the quick recap of the match.
I was going to say, before we get to the recap, I have to address something that a certain Galaxy goalkeeper said. Oh, their fans are louder than us. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I was like literally hearing from other people who have like under their section. Like, I was talking to someone from my cafe who has season tickets. They said like, we didn't hear them. The only thing that we heard from them was like the beer that they threw over when something happened or something like that, because they got drenched. But
yeah,
that's the only thing I heard.
Dude, I mean, let's be honest. His ears were ringing after that Rossi shot anyway, so it's not like he was hearing much from that side anyway.
True. All right. So
yeah. He's kind of got some damage over here from all that, and that beautiful picture. I gotta say, whoever got that was great, because it honestly looked like he had you got to put a toilet underneath him, because he looks like he's having a shocking moment at that stage. So. Beautiful things. The guy obviously isn't capable of telling the truth on the day. Can't help him, though. It's kind of like honorable mention. He's got to keep the kids happy, because y'all know they got schooled in the stands. So
exactly.
With that, to the football anyway, brother.
All right.
How did this thing break down?
So we're just gonna have the conversation. First couple minutes, Rossi gets fouled in the box. Does not get called a PK, which is surprisingly to me, like that was not even called in the first minute. Like, again, both me and Joseph were like cheering our heart out, so I didn't see it till after the fact. But that was literally like, come on now, like it's like, this is how we're gonna start this. Like, really, like I understand you don't want to start off like that, but play the game. Play the game.
We all know VAR doesn't apply to teams playing Carson. I mean that's been a long-running story where MLS moves into sports entertainment rather than sports when it comes to that team.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, we can say it again and again. You have to pummel them to get results, because otherwise a close one is not going to go your way. That's just the nature of the beast. So we didn't get the call, but we kept on playing and doing what we had to do. And so run away with it. I mean, we were still dictating things, that's for certain.
Yeah, like I said, the only thing, like 6 minutes in, like after that was like Vasquez with like a rocket shot, but it went wide. So even though it went wide, like honestly, Romero had a pace on it, so it probably would have blocked it anyways. And then we get to the 19th minute. So this was, so for the people who weren't there and like hope she is doing okay, something happened in the stands, and it happened exactly at that moment, because we kind of went a little bit quiet because of the whole situation that was going on, where someone kind of fell and like, we thought someone got dehydrated or something like that, so we had to have paramedics. But Murillo misplayed the ball. Like, I don't know what he was thinking about that, but it was like literally misplayed it. Jovic recovers and scores. Like literally, like Romero had an opportunity, but he had to struggle to get to it. But still, it was like at those points that you kind of don't play around with it. Like that was his cockiness coming out, and we know how Murillo plays, but that was literally his fault, you know?
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. It was a gaffe, another gaffe. And we mentioned earlier, get through the 20 minutes. We just got to get through the 20 minutes. Well, we made 19.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't make it. If we would have got through that, maybe things smooth out and things are different, but it didn't happen. So I'm kind of laughing at that certain striker acting like he scored a screamer when, let's be honest, he would just happen to be the man of the moment. Right, he's the bridesmaid catching the flowers. It just happens. right? It hit him in the chest. So there goes that. We're down. We have to fight our way back.
Yeah, and then we'll just skip through it to the part. Police. Oh my god, I can't even say his name. Palacios pretty much crosses Chicho and gets held. Like I've never literally held and turned around. Like he was almost like trying to carry him out the stadium. And then for a PK, like if you watch it, like the way he has him, and then he has the audacity to say like, "Oh, well, he held me first." I was like, "Yo, bro, that was after the fact. Him trying to keep close to you so he doesn't hurt himself." But we get a PK, and Chicho, thank God he actually was able to take it because he earned it at the end of the day. That's the one thing that happened last game is B-Rod earned the penalty kick, but didn't get the opportunity to take it. This time around, Chicho earned it, so they gave it to him. And I think this was like the voodoo that we needed because it hit. So he takes a shot, hits the post, but it goes right into the other side and goes in. And I think that was the hex that we needed because moving forward, I felt like we couldn't do no wrong. And we weren't hitting any more posts after that. Let's just say that.
No.
It's the first good bounce we've had in weeks.
Exactly. So...
Now, here's a big question. If Vela was on the field, would Chicho have still taken a penalty?
Well, I guess I'd say so, just because it's like he's the one that should be doing it because he's our captain. And I say this because his comments lead up to this game was not the greatest, so he's not acting like a captain. So I think we're, as LAFC fans, supporters, everything, we should be ready for a leave. In other words, the best way to say it, because it's the way he's talking, the way he's acting. I think our Vela, we love him, everything we're doing for him, but I think he's out the door.
I think it's a tactic.
Yeah,
I want to really get into it. I think it's a tactic for more money. If he doesn't get the right price, he's out of here. Because let's be honest, who in Europe's going to go for a guy that's been limping for the last 2 seasons?
Exactly.
Be real. Like, he can say what he wants to say. He can pull the heartstrings all he wants. We know what it is. It's sport. It's a mercenary mindset. It is what it is. I'm not going to stick too much into that because we have an actual team on the field that's still playing and still putting on the work. And this week we're really going to need them to put in the work. So I'll fight for those who are there and sing for those who are there. And that's really all that really matters at the end of the day. So yeah. He can do what he wants to say what he wants to say, take away from the All-Star game, which is what he did. That's not forgotten for sure, but step it up, right?
Yep.
There it is.
So before, I was just say there's one more thing that happened was right before the end of the half, Atuesta has a shot outside the box, which was a nice little, he caught off Bond off guard and he had to backpedal to block it. But if he hesitates that 1 second, we could be up pretty much 2-1 by now. But unfortunately, he was able to get there at the right spot and knock it over us. And that's how the half ended, pretty much.
Slightly unfortunate, but again, the game was back to us, and we're the ones really dictating things and being the way we're supposed to be and playing the system that we're supposed to play. So going into the half, I think I could say, like everybody else, I was pretty good with it under the circumstances, with the mistimed play, and we still recovered, so that works for me. Going on to that second half, what are our highlights for that one, sir?
Pretty much the save of the match. Honestly, like Romero was watching that ball from the beginning. It got into our half all the way through, and if he wasn't, it was such an easy header for, I think, Carla, who was the one who headed it in. But like he was watching, if you watch that play, like the defenders were a little bit lost trying to get to it and were a half step behind everybody. But Romero was literally pretty much like he was Ollie watching, has Ollie's eyes and everything and watching, and just like was able to get to it perfectly. So, and
that was just floating, like you're just waiting for things to go wrong, and ooh, there it is. He gets it.
Exactly.
Pretty stuff. Yeah.
So with that I think honestly that save I think motivated our fellas, because at the 57th minute, Sifu battles in the Carson's half to take the ball away, gets it to Rossi, and the shot's blocked. And then not in that same minute, again, Atuesta to Rossi is shot a save. Sifu recovers it, but is kind of denied right off the bench. And then so this is contender to this is literally a debate. Do you prefer Rodriguez's goal or do you prefer Vela's goal? Because they're almost identical, but not identical. Because of course Vela had more runway to do everything he needed to do, while Rodriguez had just a little bit. But watching that play was so beautiful. He literally made everyone just fall to their feet. If you watch it like in slow-mo, you just see everyone literally lose a step, and that ball which is memed now all over Twitter, Facebook, anything. Bond's face literally looks like he saw the living daylights out of him and just scored such a beautiful goal from Rodriguez. That's the goal of the week for me, pretty much the goal of the year. It's like there's no one's going to touch that unless something happens crazy along the rest of the season.
I mean, comparing it to different goals in the rivalry between the clubs, that was one of the hardest working goals, you could say, just to get in there and make those moves and take those chances. There were 3 chances where honestly they could have easily fouled him rather than get through that. He doesn't look in. This is the B-Rod difference, I think. Rather than looking for the foul, he's actually looking for the finish here. He's trying to get through these guys. He's not looking to drag a leg. He's trying to earn something. And he did. And it is one of the best goals I have seen in that stadium, probably ever.
Yep.
Coming from the player means that much more because he has had so many struggles already. And then having the tight angle finish, it's outstanding. And then, of course, the celebration even again takes it where he's running along the supporter line, like right in front of us, all the way through into the celebrity corner, right? And just everybody goes insane. And apparently, he was crying at the time, like there were tears of joy. It just felt good. It felt like a good relief. So to me, it's just the meaning of it all at this point. To me, is probably one of my favorite goals, if not my favorite goal, because of the moment where we were at. Yeah,
I love the top-down aerial footage of that goal. In the highlights for that clip, the top-down aerial is just beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Hawks, where do you stand on this one? Where would you rank this bad boy?
Honestly, I think it was better than Vela's goal. Because like how you said it, I mean, he actually worked towards that goal. And the angle itself, I mean, the thing that pretty much, how you say, is it polarized? The goal itself was just the look on Bond's face. That was like him seeing it coming was like
posterized.
Yeah, posterized. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like I was just like, bro, did he just score that? I was happy for him. I mean, to see him score it, like you say, he deserves that goal. I mean, well, besides the other one, but this one itself was just, as soon as it happened, I was like, lightning has struck. Like finally.
Yeah. So and we've said on this show multiple times, if he wants to find his way back into the family, he's got to hurt Carson. And it's like you could script it. That's exactly what he did. Is he hurt Carson? He did enough to win this game. Others did not, but he did enough to dictate and win this game. So for me, he's earned his way back. He's out of the doghouse, right? He's out of the doghouse now. Now we need to have repeat performances. Like we saw what you can do, but now we're going to need you to really carry us into the playoffs because you're the one. You are the one at this point that we can count on. One is gone. The other is limping. You're the guy. And we'll see where that goes. I'm hoping and praying that his inspiration after this match carries, and that is what we're going to see now from him, especially with who he's got working next to him. He's the man. I mean, he has to be. So good on him for scoring that goal. It was well done.
And it was in front of us, which made it even better. So, you know what I mean? It's like, it was like, want a movie? Let's get that movie right there. But unfortunately, not even like, we're still so high off that goal. But unfortunately, the boy or the man or whatever he calls him, they call him, gets a passage Jovics and just they end up scoring and taking that it was like a kind of a gut shot to us because we just saw just a beautiful goal, but it didn't stop us. But it was still one of those like, oof, or like we still need our defense still needs to pick up because there is some still mistakes. There's one in particular we have to talk about coming up, but moving forward, but again, we were fighting, and that's what I like. Like I said, there's a reason why this episode's called Signs of Life, because not even 2 minutes later, Palacios takes it from midfield, takes it upon himself, and usually he would take it and pass it, takes the shot, which unfortunately ends up getting blocked. But again, it was his breakout game. It was what he needed. It literally falls onto Rodriguez, and he puts it away and runs to the opposite side. And it was just like, again, we're back at it and everything. And go for it. Continue.
No hesitation. He didn't hesitate on the play. He just went right into it. No questions asked. Didn't have to look for a trap, an extra touch. None of that overthinking it. He just went for the rebound and finished it. Different from him. Usually there's always got to be this extra move, and there wasn't one this time, and it paid off. So good on the man for doing it. That's for sure. Ox, right? You're seeing a difference in him in this game? Like, no doubt?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's showing more potential that we've been waiting for. I mean, we know he was able to do it, or capable of doing it, but, in this match, he actually showed up.
Well, yeah, didn't overthink things, which is a good change for the man. Going on from there, of course, we have Rossi in the 82nd minute, right?
Yep, Rossi had a shot attempt, and it's blocked again. We that was, if he scored that would have been the nail in the coffin, but unfortunately, so they took us, and then Araujo had a nice pass to the middle to find Cabral for the goal, and it was like that was just like the defenders tried to throw themselves off, and like it ended up hitting Murillo. But if you watch the play, because I had to keep watching over just to like analyze like what happened in that play, our new defender Ibaga gets in the way of Romero a little bit. If you watch it, they kind of collide, because if Ibaga doesn't hit that, I think Romero's, even with the ricochet off Murillo, I think Murillo was still able to get it, but Ibaga kind of like bumps in a little bit, which gives him a half step off, and he has to dive instead of just being like centered and stuck, like ready to go for it. And
I think a part of that had to do with the fact that we made a substitution not that much earlier than there, but now putting 5 back there, right? Putting another body back deep. The substitution wasn't as effective as it was supposed to be. Palacios coming out. The guys that they brought in look more offensive minded, except Farfan shouldn't be, but they seem to be looking that way. Same with Kim Un Juan, not defending at the level that they should be defending at. And it just seemed like there were more bodies and more chaos in the box rather than an organized system when it all was said and done. Of course, leading us to the same disappointment that we're so used to this season of blowing a game late when we actually should have won this thing twice over. Right.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen again because of lack of composure, backline not doing the job. Can't rely on much of anything from our outside backs right now when it comes to the defensive side of things, which is amazing. But that is where we're at now, is that there's just this lack of composure, lack of finish, lack of killing a game off rather than getting into more shootout, right? And more open play than to just kill the thing and make it ugly. It's just not happening for us right now. And so we were fit to be tied yet again against these guys. Too much of that, and it's costing us this season. It's just not getting the results late. So that's my take, is just the composure still isn't there. I know everybody's like, well, Bob made the changes, it's all bad things. I mean, if you think about it in a normal environment, you are trying to slow the game down by adding a defender, right? Tactically, that's what you should be doing. It's that the actors, once again, aren't playing their roles. And so, for Bob, I think LFC Uruguay mentioned it. It's like, I would have made that move, but it didn't pay off. What am I supposed to do with this? Right? So he's going to get the fault, but did he have another option? That's the hard part of it. Bam, what was your impressions of the match overall?
B-Rod standout game. It was a game that we've been waiting for. As you say, he's out of the doghouse. To me, he's not in the house yet. He's in the backyard. He's got run in the backyard. He hasn't made it a couple more games of this, and then he'll get back into the house, into the bedroom, into the bed. But at the moment, at the doghouse, it got to run the backyard. Yeah, it's disappointing to walk away with a draw, but going into this and the way that we've been going lately, a draw's a step in the right direction.
Hard to say, right? But it's not a loss at home, which was an improvement over last year, but I'm never going to call it an improvement when you're playing that team at any time.
No.
Not when you've doubled up the shots on them, not when you've had the chances to win it, not when it seems like they get 5 shots and 3 go in. I'm never going to feel good about that. It's like we just get so punished so easily by everybody at this point that it's just I'm not accepting it because it's too late to accept these things. We're not going to make the playoffs if we keep this up. So, yeah. Ox, final impressions for this one? Oh, yeah, go, Bam. Go for it.
No, I agree, but take this away from playing against Carson. Say this was against Timbers. Say this against Seattle. I think we'll be feeling a lot more happier about it with the run of our last games.
Yeah, I just expect more. That's me. My expectations are still high. So it's on me on that one, I guess. Ox, on you, sir.
I expected. I don't know. I honestly expected more. I wanted more. I always want more, obviously, especially against them. I mean, I don't like having to watch them play, scoring more goals and then end up getting a tie on them and then another tie. And it's like, dude, like we want to win. We don't want any ties against them, especially them. Because, I mean, you see on social media their thing, they claim like if they won for some reason when, they got a tie against us. It's like, bro, I don't know. It's just, that's the thing. Like, for us, we need to win always when it's them, no matter what. Because if we don't get that win from, out of it, we're always going to hear about it. Like, oh, blah, blah, like, oh, dude, okay, but that I don't know. I think we always need to win against them. Like, just getting that tie, it's sour taste in my mouth. Like, I don't know.
It's just not there. Tony, what's your take, sir?
Same thing. It's like, again, like I'm happy for B-Rod. He's like, he broke out and stuff like that. We'll get more into it when we talk about Rossi, because there's some in the conversation with that, Bob said some things that of course most people didn't know, but we'll get into that when we get into the Rossi situation. But it was, again, if we ended with B-Rod like pretty much win, like with the game winner and stuff like that, like I would have been ecstatic. It's like I said, it is a sour taste. No one wants to go to the rival and say like, oh, we tied. This is so much fun under a rival. It's like either we lose and we take that or we win. A tie does not, it's nothing to me. It's just you're in limbo. It doesn't feel right. I don't like it. It's especially like any other tie, I'm whatever. Like, okay, cool. We tied. Like we got the points, whatever. This one, I wanted the win. We needed the win. Like moving forward, we needed this win. And just to push up, yes, quote unquote, energy wise, like all the charisma for everything is perfect for us moving forward, but that would have been better if we won.
Right. That's the key. We gotta win. It's there. Couple things. I just noticed the expected goals for us for 2.42. Theirs was 1.26. Why? Because he really didn't earn the 3. Be real. What goal did they score that they actually earn rather than us give it to them?
Yeah. And
that's the disappointment. Right? They didn't earn it against us. We earned that win, but a couple mistakes killed it. So moving on, let's go into the comments from everybody out there, because here they go. Mark probably has the greatest point of the day. At the end of that, this is the truth. Mark Lopez, even when the squad isn't doing a good job of representing us on the pitch, we are always representing 100% in the stands. It's getting cliche, but it's true as yes, exactly, Mark. He's right. You sing the loudest when your team is struggling the most. Without a doubt. Hey, we lost Bam. He'll be back in a few minutes, I'm sure. So that's true, Mark. We're on board with you with that. Jason Murillo should have kicked the thing out of play. Right? I mean, simplicity. In Atlanta was the same story, right? You don't have to overdo it yourself to get it done. And he does it again where he just kind of overdoes things, plays it cute, and it costs us yet again. Count them up, guys. Count them up. Among the guys out there, you got to start counting it for certain, which is where Marvin's head's at on this. Maria has too many mistakes that lead to goals. This year, this month, the last 2 months, count them up. It's been a lot for him. If there's any guy that's pretty much earned his way off the lineup for the moment, it sounds hard to say that. I know the flow of the game, all that's good, but dude, hiccups are hiccups, right? You can't have them in your position. Your job is to be efficient. So things have to be said, of course. Mark Lopez, Murillo and Kim in the corner makes me brace for impact every time. No bueno. Yeah, you know what? Kim came in and defensively wasn't there. I don't think anybody thinks it was. Again, our right backs when they're coming in. I thought, Blackman seems to be holding it down when he's out there, but Kim not so much. He's good on the offensive side of things, but he's good with a 5-man back in most cases. He is. But this one, no, things are a little off with him. Murillo is just, whenever he's touching the ball, you're just hoping for the best. Chavez goes to Farfan. Agreed. I think Farfan coming in, where he played out, he actually, that last goal, it was a lot on him, just positioning himself poorly on the play and just not being there where he needed to be. So it's tough to see. It's really tough to see. That's for sure. Marvin says, our whole backline is bad except Segura. Murillo Segura was good, but there isn't anybody to clean up his mistakes anymore. Fall has potential. I think Blackman's doing what he's got to do. Honestly, I think Blackman is fine. Fall is fine. He's doing his job. Ibiaga needs a chance, and I think he'll do his job as well. But right now, Murillo is in kind of a struggling situation. So is Farfan. Vlasos has had his moments as well, and so has Kim. So what we thought from our back line, how it was going to be a strength this year, just hasn't really solidified, you could say. And so we're in this situation. Do we allow a lot of goals? No, it's just those moments. It's those darn moments. So there it is. Mark, look, Kim is good going forward from the midfield, but building from the back isn't strong for him. Good point, sir. Wolf checking in. LA Wolf fan checking in. Welcome, sir. Marvin Chavez. Yeah, in my opinion, Kim is strictly a right wing back, right center midfield. You know what? Honestly, I would love to see what he would do even on the wing. Just throw him up there and let him do his thing. Except, Bam, you said something was interesting for him this week in the international play. I know we're going to talk about it a little later, but we could throw it because of the comment. What position did he play today?
He was right back.
Right back?
Played right back for South Korea in the 0-0 draw against Iraq. He came off in the 58th minute.
Yeah, interesting. Early takeout, that's for sure. Which is probably good for us because he comes back healthier, right?
Well, he's still got one more game, 4 a.m. Tuesday, your time, against Lebanon.
Okay. And he'll probably get minutes for that one too. So, yeah, I think Kim right now is still trying to find himself. That's for certain. And he's getting kind of typecast as just that guy that's great on the ball. So there it is. Oscar the Cody, it's making me wonder what the lineup will be tomorrow. We'll talk about that because it is going to be a great toss around, throw the dart, see what hits kind of lineup. Boom. That's the starter. Yeah, exactly. Rastigar, Raito's goal was also in a Derby Classic. Exactly. Carries weight. Marvin Chavez says Raito was robbed. He was a player of the week over Pepe. I agree. But if you know what, you have to get the win to get the player of the week. You're not going to get player of the weeks on draws. It's just unless you get a hat trick, it ain't happening. You got to get the win at the end of the day. So he was robbed by us for not getting the job done. He was robbed by his own team for not finishing the match out. That is the story there for me. Hot take: Raito has top goal in club history. Back me up, Rastagari. It's a contender. It's a contender. That's for sure. Anybody disagreeing here? LA Wolf fan, I have to say Saturday was my first time visiting the bank, and yes, I went all out of 32 front row. My voice went out, but B-Rod's first goal was all worth it. The Fat Galaxy fans stayed silent. Yeah, they did. They weren't. They were thinking they were making noise, and they did a really good job singing while we were setting up. But
Waving
we know
flags
we
doesn't-
act as if.
Waving flags
whistle
doesn't
the
make
whistle.
noise. Yeah.
Yeah. Singing before the match like crazy to an empty stadium is pretty and all. Maybe throwing cans and stuff and cups at people after the game that are randoms is cool to you, not to me. We go from whistle to whistle, so that's fine. Marvin Chavez, people are not talking about how his dribble made a lightning bolt. Dude, this dribble was the dribble. That was the story, man. Beautiful. Mark speaks facts. All right, let's see. Never stop experience. I went for 10 minutes. There it is. Rastigari, if you saw me running down the stairs in a white LAC Dodger t-shirt in that aerial celebration, mind your business. Yeah, we can't really rush to the front like some people can in certain terraces.
Yeah.
Real seating, baby. But the temptation was there. I was laying on top. I'm not gonna lie. If you look at the replay as well, I was laying on top of the sponsor board after he scored it. Like I full on belly flopped it like a skydiver. I couldn't help myself. I had a good time with that. That's for sure. Jason says, surprised Bob didn't sub Edwards. Don't say that name. He's probably going to play this week, so there you go. Bob's sub were good. I thought they were. I didn't think he had a choice, honestly. He did what he had to in the moment. He built more for the back. He looked like he was going to settle the match by adding men in the back, and they didn't get the job done. What are you supposed to do at that point? It's like a reliever blowing a game. Like, what are you supposed to do? It's tough. Jason Lemus out of the doghouse now for let's see what happens. He steps up tomorrow night. I also expect Chicho to step up as well. You know what? We got to talk about that. Chicho getting the penalty was a critical moment and a moment of leadership from Diego Rossi. Love you, Diego. Safe travels. But his moment to give the ball to Chicho, that's on him. He owns it. He's going to take that shot. He's the leader on the field in the moment. He made sure he needed to build confidence in Chicho. And if you think about the grand story, knowing that he's leaving after this, and he knows he's leaving, there's no doubt, to be, okay, I need to pass the torch. That was very much a pass the torch moment. We all didn't know that in the moment. We know that now. So shout out to Rossi on making that decision and making that move, because it's critical for us to have Chicho on the board. You know, good stuff. Good stuff. Mark Lopez, I hope Rito does good with the national team so he comes back with energy, not resentful, and takes on the challenge. And what is the rest of the season? Well, he got so much love in this match. Now he knows what it's like to get love from the fan base. So I hope so. Oh, yeah, roster. LA is ours. Not really. You can have a Raising Canes. You can have all the Raising Canes you want, man. They're yours. They are totally yours. We got the rest of it. It's fine. We'll seed Raising Canes. You want to take Chick-fil-A along as well? That's fine by me. I don't care. Jason Lemus. Ty hurts us more than them because we're LAFC is in the standings compared to Carson. Yeah, they could afford a draw. They needed a draw. Let's be real. Marvin Chavez. I agree, Tony. To me, certain ties feel like losses. Conceding at the last minute, like always, felt like a loss. You got punch, right? I think we're all in agreement there. Carlos C. Don't think another CB was the correct sub. I think Bob needed to put in their midfielder to clog things up. Possibly, but who? Right? I think Janela's not in the frame right now. He would be the guy if he was trusted, and right now it just doesn't seem like he is. So we're kind of stuck there. Let's see. Alistair Christie. Why were the 32-52 silent? Desvio for their first Galaxy goal. A horrible injury to one of our own. And we were the capo stand in the middle had to go silent because they had to call emergency services in. Actually, all capo stands went silent because they were really slow on responding. It was scary. But there was a bad injury, guys. It was this very scary situation. Somebody had to go out on a stretcher. And so for that first goal, we fell silent for the sake of one of our own being injured, and making sure that she got the help she needed in the moment. And shout out to everyone, especially the crew in Cuervos that were getting it done, getting her through, to Gil and his wife who had to leave it early to go to a hospital. And yeah, again, shout out to everybody, because that was the most important thing. Life is the most important thing at the end of the day, and the welfare of others. So that's why I felt, in the terms of the grand scheme, it was tough going silent, and that's the moment they burned us. But yeah, it just.
But you always remember, if the 30-52 go quiet, something's wrong.
Yes. That should be an alarm bell if it's going. Something's up. So it was up. We got back up after that, got louder, and kept going, and we'll just keep on going. Nestor S. May someone please help me understand why Bob went with 3 center backs toward the end of the game? Personally felt we should have kept the 4-3-3.
Parking the bus. He went to park the bus.
He went to park the bus on a team that seems incapable of parking the bus. I think that's where it was at. It's tough. It's a tough call to make. The fourth, I think guys were also gassed in the 4-3-3, and we didn't really have a component to cover in the 4-3-3 because I don't think he wanted Edwards out there right in that moment. I just think we were in a rough spot. That's for sure. Moving on. That's my potential lineup for tomorrow. Oh, because Romero, Blackman, Fall, Murillo, Farfan, Blessing, Atuesta, Janela, Chicho, Jennings, Moose. And we'll talk about that one in a few moments, of course. Yeah, Rossi gave away what would have been his last goal. Didn't realize the full weight of the moment until Joseph broke it. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it now in hindsight, right? That's for sure. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. How do you guys feel how the LAFC season will end? Ask me on Saturday. Ask me after tomorrow. I don't know until tomorrow. Then it gets scary. Kevin says, who would you like to see come to LAFC? We'll get into that one too in a little bit for sure. Garcias lose late games. It's so frustrating. And Blackman is injured. Yes, Marvin, everyone is injured. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Rossi, one last leadership moment. Exactly. All right, guys. And Jason brings up the pitch situation. Yes, it was terrible. It was because of the concert. Life in a modern stadium when you got to keep the lights on. Yeah, there we are. It could be AstroTurf. It could be on turf. At the end of the day, even bad grass is better than no grass. So there we are. All right, so that's it for comments for now, guys. Keep them up as we keep going on the episode today. Let's talk and transition a little bit of club and community. I think the only thing that I really noticed is this weekend we've got the big kickball tournament going down for club and community. That is definitely happening. Do you guys have details on that one? I've gone remotely blank. I know I'm playing in it, but
it's pretty much it's the 3252. Like we had it, I believe, actually my first year with LAFC was like 2 years ago. It was kickball, but it was for a different event at that time. I remember.
Yeah.
But this is going towards to help AIM, our brothers at AIM. You know them well. They're the best people in the world, to help them support and stuff like that. There's most of the social groups are part of it. Is the Heated KC Sporting KC, or is that some team that just made up that name? Because I was like trying to figure out who they were.
No, I don't think there's any Sporting KCs playing it.
Okay,
No.
I was just curious because I saw the KC and I was like, that was like my kind of thought process. But it's pretty much it starts at 9:00. It's gonna be like a nice kickball tournament. Like me and Joseph are gonna be in it. So if you want to see us run around and be all funny, but it's all like there's gonna be food, drinks, stuff like that. All like I said, and then there's donations. I believe there's gonna be there as well. But it all goes towards AIM.
I'll say whoever is playing in this, show up at like 8:30 in the morning so you don't miss your first match. This is basically nearly single elimination. It's kind of double, right? You lose 2, you're out, but you lose 1, you're out of the A bracket. Like that's it. So if you mess up your first game, go off to the loser bracket, have fun with that. Otherwise, you got to go play, make it happen. So the minimum teams are going to get is 2 games. That's for certain. You got to win your first one to get into the medal round. You could say that. So that is how it's setting up. I know BA, we're facing one of the athletes in the making team. So boom, let's do this. I'm excited about it. I know we got some new jerseys coming up for Black Army, so I can't wait to see those bad boys pop up. Everybody, here's the thing. Everybody takes it super serious among the supporter group. So you're going to see like the coolest jerseys ever. I know this. I know it this weekend. There's going to be a great display. Also, when you go to it, it's a perfect view of the skyline while you're playing. So it's just picturesque, you could say, while you're playing the game. So go check it out. It's for the good cause. Athletes in the Making is amazing. Vic and his family are absolute saints. So go support them. It's totally worth it. So that's the only thing I really wanted to bring up for community, because we're all doing it, man. It's going to happen. Outside of that, of course, is the club news that we all have to talk about. we'll talk about the legend, but I think I'm going to switch this over to Bam first and talk about call-ups. So, who's on the road playing for their country this week, sir?
So we've got a couple of players out. We've got B-Rod playing with Uruguay. He had his first game today. Played the full 90 minutes in the 1-1 draw against Peru. On Sunday at 3 p.m. LA time, he's playing Bolivia, and at 3:30 p.m. next Thursday, LA time, he's playing Ecuador. Now, one of the notes I got in there, Uruguay is missing some big names. They're missing Cavani because Man United won't let him go, and Suarez is missing due to injury. So with those two big players missing, I think we're going to see a lot more of B-Rod in the international side. We also got Sifu and Chiki out for Ecuador. They had a game today against Paraguay, ended up winning 2-0. Chiki stayed on the bench the whole game, and Sifu came on in the 59th minute. They're also playing Chile at 2 p.m. Sunday, and then Uruguay at 3:30 p.m. Next Thursday. So it'll be interesting seeing Sifu versus B-Rod, Chiki versus B-Rod, hopefully. And then we've got Kim Moon-Wan out with South Korea. They had a 0-0 draw this morning against Iraq. And the next game's Tuesday, 4 a.m. against Lebanon. We also have a couple of our young guys out with the under-20 Mexico side, with Tony Leone and Christian Torres out with them. I think they're playing Sweden for 2 games.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, as much as we should follow the young persons, like, let's be honest, most of us don't follow the U.S. or the Mexico's under
the youth
20.
level.
Yeah, unless it's the World Cup.
I just think it's fascinating and amazing that our players are actually going to take advantage of that and go on the trip, though. It's super cool.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Look, it'll be a good experience for them. If anything, the experience of them going over, it's going to be good because I think both their games are against Sweden in just friendlies. So,
all good things. All good things. Perfect. So that's who we have on international duty right now. Yeah, it's a lot of bodies on the move. Guys that had injuries earlier, we've got to hope they just stay healthy and again don't catch COVID on the way. Like it killed us last year, right? About November.
Yeah.
With all especially South America getting rocked on that one. We lost Rossi for a time, so yeah, not good. Not good in those cases, but let's just hope this case it's going to be a little bit different. All right, so then, of course, the news of the news, and we all saw it, and honestly, it's been brewing for a while, okay? The one, the only, Diego Rossi is no more with us. He's moved on to a pretty big side, probably the second richest team in all of Turkey, but he's over to Fenerbahce. I hope I said that correctly. A Europa League club this year. Right, so Rossi goes to get to play European soccer now, and international European soccer. Check him out. Getting right into it, and given the number 9, which is impressive for a new signing, he's going to be benefiting from the service of one Mesut Ozil. So that should be fun to see. I can't help it. I think I'm gonna buy one of these jerseys, man. I think I'm there. I'm backing it. So. It's just cool that he got to finally move on. It took too long. Should have been done 3 weeks ago so we could actually make another move and cover for him. It didn't happen that way, but, we're in a moment where you have to make a move. He's been here 6 months longer than he would expect it to be, so you got to make a deal if the pot is right. I know it is a loan deal with option to purchase. It sounds like there's triggers involved with this deal. I don't know the total details. I just know a little bit, but it sounds like there's triggers involved where it's a loan, but it's only a loan in case something bad happens. So there's that. So I think we're going to be in a good case once this is all said and done. He'll make a deal. It'll be good money because it's a big money team. And we'll be able to get the freedom to start bringing in some new blood in the process. So for Rossi scoring our first ever goal and basically running on a clip that was a goal every other game with us. He is definitely going to be missed. He's our top scorer this year. Yeah, losing your top scorer mid-season ain't fun, but all the best to him. He went out with class, again, handing the ball off, passing the torch, you could say, but also penning a great response to all of us when it was finally official. And his thank you to everyone here in Los Angeles. He said the right things on the way out. And that one I give him credit for doing without a doubt. He went out with class, with dignity. And he is always going to be black and gold in my heart. So there it is. Tony, any fine words you'd like to say about Diego?
I'm just gonna miss him. It's like, yeah, it's a loan, but it doesn't. This is not a loan like we did with B-Rod. I feel like this is like they want him. You know what I mean? Like this is more of like they're, of course, like I don't think they want to just take it on super quickly like right now, especially with like, again, because the Europeans don't close until which already closed by the time that he got him. But this doesn't feel like the B-Ross situation where he wanted out. He wanted to go, but this is to a big club. It's not a minor club. It's not like you're going like, it's like you're going to PSG. It's in La Liga. It's like you're going to Manchester. It's going to a big club. One of the two biggest clubs in Turkey. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
It helps us because now it's like, see, this is what we've been telling everybody. If you do well, you will go to a big club. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's not the big five, but if you're talking international play and competitive play, Fenerbahce is always in it. They probably have one of the most insane rivalries in the world that you must pay attention to. It's epic. And Turkish supporter culture and the Turkish love of the game is something that none of us truly understand. It's almost like an illness. It's definitely an affliction in many ways. So the passion is just unmatched. It really, it's wild. So good for him. He's going to see some crazy supporter culture. He's going to feel right at home with the madness. It's a little edgier than what we do. Okay, a lot edgier than what we do.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah, there's not even, yeah. But I think it's a great experience for him. I think he will thrive in that type of environment and under the service that he's getting. He's got great players around him. He's going to fight for minutes, that's for sure, because it's a solid side. So good on Diego. Good on Diego. Bam. Final thoughts, sir?
We're just looking up at the moment. Fenerbahce currently second after 3 games in the Turkish league. They're behind by 1 goal difference. They've played 3, won 3, got 5 goals for, 0 goals against. The next game is on the 12th, be about 10 a.m. in the morning on the 12th your time against Sivasspor. And then the next big game for them will be Thursday the 16th for you guys at around midday. They're away to Frankfurt.
Oh, they're going to say the rivalry game for a second on that day.
Oh, so he's playing in Frankfurt, potentially.
Yeah.
I think that's where the current striker from Carson got dumped from. That's cool. Just thought. I went there, sorry. Okay, so the French connection. Yeah, whatever. We talk about them too much, I know. That's good. So Diego could right away get into a Europa League match. Like, that's sick. That's good. We can actually watch that one, guys. That's the other thing, guys. He went to a team that's big enough where you can actually watch like highlights and get coverage and proper social media. So he's not disappearing. We can see Diego when we feel like it. So it's good. It's good. Ox, any thoughts about it as well?
I'm happy for him. I mean, he deserves it. And it's like you said, it's been coming since last year, but with the whole pandemic thing, I mean, it kept them pretty much from transferring. I mean, he would have been gone last year if it wasn't for that. But
I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, just happy for the guy. I mean, we're gonna miss him. Yeah, I mean, he's part of our history, but he's still gonna be black and gold no matter what. And I mean, good for him. Like, he deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys. He could always come back to the stadium, and if he comes back, he's getting a hero's welcome. Yeah, without question. So good on him. I know there were chances, there were offers, there were some crazy offers for him, multiple leagues, but the pandemic really took its toll. And so he's where he needs to be now to get an even greater springboard. This is a great opportunity to get even into a bigger club after this. So good on him. Good on him. That's for sure.
So it just leaves us with 2 players from our original starting 11 and 4 players from our original starting team.
It's wild, right? So it's Blessing and Vela from the starting lineup, right? Those are the last.
The last 2. Yeah, and there's 2 sitting on the bench that game too. That's still left at the club.
Then that's Blackman and Harvey, correct?
Yep, they're the last 4.
There it is. Wow. I mean, honestly, guys, this is normal for an expansion side to have this much turnover. That's normal.
Yeah.
It really is. It sounds weird because we've been successful, but
So the big question is, who's going to be the last one?
I was going to say
Who's going to be the last one?
I was going to say bets on who's the last one to stand.
I say
Black.
Blessing.
No.
You don't think Blessing would be the last one?
If they can handle the immigration situation, yes. If they can't,
Well,
no.
yeah, true.
Right? I just, if I'm in his shoes, married life, family life, like that's going to be a hard stay. We can go deep into that, but then again, I'm going to laugh because it's going to be Harvey, right? Because he'll probably work for the team. And so he's never leaving. Harvey's never leaving. He's a lifetime permanent transfer. Like he'll just take the shorts off and put the Dockers on, and Jordan stays. So maybe Jordan because if we, the caveat. But those two, honestly, I don't see them leaving anytime soon. So, yeah.
It'd be interesting to see who's left.
Right. Who's the last man standing? We'll see. I like this from Mark. I'll throw it up there. I hope it's Blessing that leaves last. This enough will be wild at how much love he has from us. I agree. I hope it's Blessing. I think without a doubt, like he's got the most appearances, the most minutes, probably the most bruises for the black and gold. I do hope. I in my dream of dreams, we want to see him grow into being like, the star. He already kind of is, but getting a few more years, maybe an all-star appearance before moving on to a bigger and better things. But we'll see how that plays itself out. So that's where we're at with Rossi. Rossi is gone, which brings us into a Vinyl Club minute. I know. Shout out to Jason. The man is now working on Thursdays, so we're not going to see Jason for a while unless we do like early week pods, but we'll find a way to get him back in. So that leaves us, no pressure, Ox, but it's on you, sir. Vinyl Club minute.
I want to go with, I don't know if you guys heard of the band called Discharger, and I want to go with the album called Until We Die. If you literally listen to that whole album, you have so many songs that could go with what we're dealing with. I mean, with the club and everything. So I'll go with that album. It's a good album to listen to.
Songs of Hope? Is that what we're saying?
It has everything. Trust me. It has, Lion's Heart, Until We Die, We're Still Angry, Us Against the Rest. Like it's crazy. Like listen to it. Trust me. It's a good album.
What's your favorite song?
I can't say. Mine is We're Coming to Your Town from that one.
Dang. This sounds aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good album. Trust me. Discharger.
Dude, Roberto Espinosa just saying that Ox should have a 2-stick already. You see that? The comment is there. Ox should have a 2-stick. Rastagary's giving him some drums. I'm going to throw it up there for those who can see it, but Rasta's giving some love to Ox. Well earned, my friend. Well earned. And then Roberto right there. He should have his 2-stick already. Dude, right? One of those pixelated ones, right? It's the Ox pixelated 8-bit style. Good stuff, man. Good choice, sir. Sounds aggressive. I have to now invest and listen to this thing. And we have, 5 minutes before the next match. So not a lot of time to make that happen. So there it is. Good choice, Ox. Loving it. Of course, brings us into the next conversation. Of course, that would be the match tomorrow, or for many of you today. I know, wild, right? Quick turn pod, turn and burn. So SKC is here. So I'm going to hand this one over to you, Ox. You're like, what? You're putting me on pressure? I am definitely putting you on pressure, man. What is the current run of form, Ox, for Sporting Kansas City?
Their run of form. Let's see. Well, I was looking at pretty much the games that they've been playing and everything. Mm-hmm. They like to run with the 4-3-3. That's what they like to go with, a 4-3-3. So I mean, where have we seen that before? But for them so far, as they stand there in second place, Western Division, 40 points. and pretty much was 16 points ahead of us. With 11 wins, 7 draws, 4 losses. I was looking at their players to watch out for us, but since he's actually in international duty, I mean, who can we actually look out for? I don't know if Pulido went out. I didn't see that. If he went to international, did he?
Yeah, I'll cover it a little bit on the lineups, but more about results. I mean,
Their
how have they
results,
been running so far? Yeah.
their past 3 games, they got ties. So
Okay.
I mean, we're looking at a team that's hungry, second place, so we know why they're up there. I mean, and look how they left us for the last match we played against them. So, so I mean, third, 3 ties for them isn't really that bad since they're in second. So, we're hoping for something better for us.
So it is a little strange with them. They have a poor record at home and a killer record on the road. They're weird.
Yeah.
And I do know that they are nearing a record because I think they've got 6 straight on the road without defeat. If they get 7, it's a league record for road performance. So we're fighting a team looking for a record, and looking for a team that's going to potentially or could sweep us with the win. I don't think we've ever had a team do that to us. So that would be uncharted territory. So it's a very interesting set coming from them because they are in good form. Yes, you're like 3 ties. What do you mean good form? Hey, they're not losing, right? They're not losing their games. That counts for something. And it's not like they were playing pushover teams. Their draws were what? Timbers, who I know they're finally playing well again. You saw against Seattle, they did what they had to do. Minnesota, who's been dialed in, and Colorado, who's defensively in, and that's why it's 1-1. So signs of life. Well, they have signs of life. That's for sure. They're not lost. Bam. That being said, you got a good look at the match against Colorado, right? How did things play out?
Well, as you said, it was a 1-1 draw. I don't know how it was a 1-1 draw, but I'll get into that a bit later on. In the 17th minute, Colorado took the lead via Lewis as he follows up from a block shot. So he had there was a nice shot, gets blocked, falls at his feet, follows up, banging for a goal. 33rd minute, Salawi, who will be away for international duty, he's playing away for Hungary, had a beautiful shot that was saved. It was a nice save for that one. Down in the 38th minute, corner comes in for SKC. Johnny Russell goes up for a header, just goes over the bar. In the 41st minute, Russell gets a free kick at the top of the box. Top right-hand corner, could not miss, could not be saved. Equalizes at 1-1. 67th minute, the one and only Mac for Colorado has a shot from outside the box and hits the post. 89th minute, Johnny Russell has a beautiful attempt, face a goal towards Johnny Russell, goes for a tap in as he's sliding in, gets cleared off the line. How that stayed out was unbelievable. In the 94th minute, shot from just outside the 6-yard box from Bassett, hits the crossbar and goes back into the field of play. That you could not miss. How he missed? It was one of those shots that just goes to him. He's like, "That's a goal," and just pops it, goes in, hits the crossbar, and hits back to the field of play. So there were the highlights from the game. A few of the stats: SKC had 58% possession. They had 20 shots to 8 with 9 on target. They had 88.2% pass rate. They were leading the crosses 11-7, leading the corners 6-4. Fouls, they only committed 3 fouls, and Colorado committed 14. Colorado got 4 yellows for that. And now the substitutions for SKC. The subs were no one. The whole 11 played. The whole starting 11 played the full game.
That, you know what that sounds like? That's like, hey, I know a bunch of you guys are leaving for international duty, so I'm gonna let you run to death because I don't have you for my game next week, so I'll just burn it and rest everybody else that I need next week. It really does feel like that. Like, hey, whatever, man, run it.
Yeah. So the two that are away for international duties is Salawi and Kinda. They're both away for international duties. And they've got 3 out injured. You got Hernandez, who's still out injured. He was out last game for personal reasons, so I'm not sure what's going on there. He hasn't played since the 5th of July, so I don't expect him back. Or if he does come back, he might not be as fit. Jalen Lindsay's out injured, and Ismat Miran's out injured for SKC.
Yeah, questionable, I believe, for Ismat, right? So then maybe he could play, but he's in it. Yeah, and then the other guy you mentioned that's coming back from rehab, from what I got from the writers in KC, the reports are all saying that it's next match, not this match. So yeah, a little bit lighter in the in the saddle, you could say. Tony, though, there are some dangerous players still. Who would you count on to be the good for these guys?
Russell.
Russell.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like he's not a young buck, but he produces still. Like I said, going through everything, going through this whole thing, it's like we usually do a good, bad, and the ugly, but we're Sporting KC is just good. There's not the only good thing we have going for us is we don't have to face Solly. He's on international break,
right?
That's the only thing good for us. But again, like most of the league, again, international break, and I say that because we're MLS will MLS, but we're going to be hurting as well. But like I said, Russell's still going to be a problem for us as always. And again, this is the pretty much second place team. They're in the running for Supporters Shield as well. So like we're going to see, we shall see how we do. And then we'll find out how the rest of the season goes off. Like, you know what I mean? Like we needed the 3 points last game. So now we desperately need these 3 points because we're 2 games away from getting back into playoffs. But a tie, I don't want. A loss, that's when we'll talk about more moving forward if that happens, of what we should do moving forward.
Well, it's tough because the teams that we're chasing that we have to leapfrog kind of got results last week.
Mm-hmm.
It was the results were very topsy-turvy last week. That the expected weren't the expected, right? It was underdogs winning games. So that's dangerous for us when that starts happening. You need the favorites to solidify so you can steal the last few spots and become the spoiler. I know it sounds weird for LAFC to be that team that needs to sneak in and be a spoiler, but here we are. And I'll be real about it. If we do get to be that away team, that means the 32-52 get to travel to away days for playoffs. And so they're not really that far from home. They just got to look up and we'll be there. So that's fine. Just get in. So stating what you guys stated in terms of SKC, I kind of did a little bit of look to see who the KC folks think are going to play in this game. And also some comments that were made. I did hear from KC's players themselves in interviews today that they were looking heavily into their overlapping backs to press us, because the last time we played them at home, that first half, we pressed them back and they were pegged for the first half by our wing backs. And really had trouble breaking out. Now, their system was a little different back then. Now it is definitely something that matches up with us with a 4-3-3. I think with Busio leaving and others, it's become necessity to play that way. The one name that I'll bring up to me that always stands out is Zusi. If he's available, he's a problem for us.
Yeah.
He was a problem in our house last time. The guy plays to the death. So we got something to deal with him if he's ready to go. Now, that being said, the Sporting KC prognosticators, you could say, the guys over on SB were basically saying that they're expecting Polito to start up top. He'll be their number 9 on the day, which that is what he does. Russell will be out at the right wing. Shelton is the pick to be left wing. Your midfield will be Walter as your defensive mid. Espinosa and Duke will be your attacking mids. Martins will be on the left back position, and he will probably be the most aggressive player coming out of the back by far. Zusi will be your right back. Also, he'll be pressing on the day. Illy and Fontas are the guys that are slated to start at center back. And of course, Tim Melia is always the guy, the man in goal. And I'll just say this, to me, Tim is one of the examples. You know, he is one of the best keepers to ever play in this league. The numbers don't always say that for him, but he's always just been there and made it happen. So He's a tough one for us. He's not easy to solve. That's for certain. So he's going to be tough. Once we get through that whole defense, you got him too to deal with. So that is the slated lineup. That's what the fans are thinking it's going to go. I'm okay with that. I think it makes sense with their injuries. That being said, they do have some options off the bench. They have Pulskamp, Harris, Puncec, Davis, Dia, Barber, Pierre, Rad, and Ismet Merin because he is questionable. Otherwise, I think he'd be, of course, in the lineup. So there is that. They also said SKC2 played on Wednesday, so that kind of limits who they can pull from there. So yeah, interesting to see what their lineup's at. Of course, losing Kinda, losing Salui, I was going to mispronounce his name, is going to be a problem for them. Even though I know we're missing 8 million players, that's what they look for. And of course, they mentioned Mauri not being ready until the next match. So that's what to expect. We know this system because we play this system, right? This is our traditional system, and that's what they're playing right now with what they have, which is interesting because we've seen them clog the midfield with 5. The thing I did hear from their leadership, from their people, is that they're concerned because it's hard to take a team for 3 in a row. They're also concerned because they've never played a full good 90 against us this year. Sounds funny, but they identified only having good halves in both games they played with us and then not getting it right. So like when we were there, their first half was weak and their second half they took over. Let's be honest, there was a red card that kind of caused that. And then they had the dream first half against us in our house. And then the second half, we saw how things faded off. So they're concerned with that fade. They are worried that they could let us back in if they can't get a full 90 in. So that was comments that I heard today. But that they're going to definitely be pushing hard for their overlaps. So they're going to return the favor to what we did in the first half in their place. So that is that for the lineup. That is what we're going to be expecting. If you've seen Pulido play, you know if you give him an opening, he will burn you. So that's that. Ox, any other thoughts about their approach? Does it sound pretty accurate to you, sir?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's going to be a hard one for us, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
Pulido, yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
No, but what's it called? Yeah, I'm just hoping a miracle happens for us, for reals. At this point.
Yeah, let's bring it to that. We got to talk about it because it's freaking bizarre to see what's happening with our lineup. Apparently, I love you, LAFC Benjamin, our boy, coming up with the 14 players missing rule. Like, are you kidding me? 14 guys out. Bam, did you list these crazies? Who's missing from this lineup? Because that's just scary.
I didn't end up listing them because there's just too many to count. There's just way too many because you got all the injuries. You got like B-Rod out, Sifu, Cheeky, Moon. Let's see, Eddie Segura's out injured. Mohamed Torre is out injured. Who else we got in here?
Yeah, so I'm looking at it now from
Vela's out.
Oof, yeah, Vela. Opoku forever.
Yeah.
Quesada, Duenas, who's getting his knee surgery. We pray for you, brother. We hope that's a full recovery from the surgery. I know you're deactivated for this season, but yeah, we know you'll bounce back. You're a young kid. You got the heart. We've seen it already. You'll be back. We're confident. The other one, Julian Gaines, is out, right? The new guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. International duty, Cifuentes, Palacios, Rodriguez, Kim Moon Hwan, Tony Leone, Christian Torres. Man, I would have loved to see Torres in this moment, but
I know,
it
I
is
was
what
gonna say,
it is.
This is like the perfect time for Torres to come back. Like, everybody's been wondering where he went, but like this is what is the perfect time for him to come back.
So that puts us in the realm of who the heck is starting for LAFC. I think that's the real story. Like, what are we going to expect, right? I think the only thing that I think we can be confident in saying is Romero's going to be in goal.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty much.
Yep.
All right. Well, who takes up the middle then? Who's their center backs, guys?
Fall and Really?
Ooh, wait,
Marie and Fall.
Fall.
Okay, Tony.
Fall. Yeah, Fall Maria. I mean, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Ibaka or whatever. Our new defender, maybe.
Well, that's Fall. Oh,
Ibaka?
Ibiaga.
Ibiaga,
Ibiaga.
sorry. Yeah,
Ibiaga.
sorry. Nah, sorry. I was like Ibiaga. I was like, it's like I said.
Yeah, the Mbeke story is cool with Fall, right? Because he's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna take a shot at my dad for fun on this. I'm putting his name on my shirt. It's a good story, that's for certain. So, who the heck is the left back and who's the right back? And do you think it's a 4-man back, or do you think we're going 5? Ooh, tough questions.
I don't know. I don't
Left
think
back.
for this one. I don't think we'll go
Yeah.
5 for this one. I mean, because when we go with the 5, he tends to do it when we have Moon for some reason.
Right.
Mhm.
So with him not being there, I don't think he'll go with the 5.
Okay. So, Farfan on the left, or Farfan on the right?
Blackburn on the right.
Blackman's out.
But he's
Blackman's
out.
hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, see those eyes just go, what? Yeah. So, like, could it be Farfan gets to play right back? We've seen that before, and you throw Edwards at left? I'm scared.
Cisnega right back. Cisnega right back.
Just
Could a goalkeeper be an outfield player,
Yeah.
right?
Phillips.
Right,
Put in Phillips.
Yeah, so your left back, right back situation is the point of death, which it's been all year. We're not sure who it's going to be. Farfan's going to be in one of those roles.
Harvey.
So if it is Harvey, then Harvey would be your left, and Farfan would be your right.
By the way, thank you.
Naturally.
Jason. I saw that. That's how I remember.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you, Jason. Yeah.
if that's the case, yeah, you have your left is Harvey. He's more comfortable over there, and then Farfan can play right because honestly, he probably plays better there. Yeah, so that would probably be what we're looking at if you're 4-man back.
But would it be Harvey starting or coming in second half because he's not gonna play him the full 90?
It reminds me of the match against Seattle way back when he was chasing people on the AstroTurf.
Mm-hmm.
But we really haven't seen him much out there. So you think he's gonna perform like that?
Well, it's Raheem is your other option.
Yeah.
And then unless Ebiaga wants to play outside back, and I know Fall has played on the outside before in his time. He knows how to play it. So this is the hodgepodge backline that we're dealing with, guys that can plug and play but not totally own it anywhere except maybe in the middle. So that's a hard case. Personally, I believe because they killed us when we didn't have experience out there, that he'll go with experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then brings it, is he going to make a suicide move, right? And have the 5? I don't think so. I think he's learned his lesson there. Let's go to the middle 3. Who gets to start in the middle 3, knowing who's out, who's in?
Blessing for sure.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Wait, Blessing. Wait. This is how I'm like, I'm like, wait, I have to remember
Who's
the
available.
list. Yeah, the list.
All right,
Okay.
so Blessing and Atuesta are your guarantees, right?
Exactly.
Are we looking at Duke or Janela as the other option?
I
Duke.
think he's gonna start Janela,
Duke.
and he'll bring in Duke after. That's my guess.
Ox probably makes sense in this matter, but I'd really like to see Duke get out there and rip it up.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Duke out there first and leaving Janela in case something happens.
And then, of course,
Janela's more of a defensive mid.
yeah, I mean, that's what he's been doing because he hasn't taken ownership, let's be real. And then Marvin Chavez, of course, brings up the other name that we haven't mentioned already, which is the other guy. Chris. Oh, my gosh. Right?
Cristomo,
I think is how you pronounce it. I brutally butchered the man's name. He could be more of a defensive mindset player. Actually, he could play well both ways. So does he get his first start in this match?
I don't think start.
He killed it for Vegas, right?
Well,
Yeah.
who went to Vegas today?
Only one player.
Yeah, it was
I think it was Chris. No, I don't.
No. So on, yeah, my prediction is it's going to be Duke. I think
Traore, I think was it.
Traore.
Yeah,
He wasn't going to get
Yeah.
play here anyway. So
No.
okay, my prediction is Duke. I'll go with Duke.
Second it.
Duke from Tony. Bam.
Duke.
Duke. And Ox is going with the Janela. There it is. All right. So then it brings us to the top. We're talking 3 strikers, even though we only have one known starter. You know,
Chicho for
Chicho's
sure.
are guaranteed up top. No doubt about that. So who joins him on this illustrious list of available strikers? I'm not being mean. I'm just saying.
I know.
My
Jennings-
prediction. Go for it. You were going to say the same thing. Go for it.
Jennings and Moose. Let's just get the experience out there. Like Duke. The reason I know why us 3 say Duke is because he's already has experience with it, and most of the other people don't. So that's why. So again, same thing. Jennings and Duke. Jennings and Moose are going to be for sure with Chicho. It's going to be different for Chicho to play with it because he's so used to how everyone else plays with around him with Rodriguez and Rossi, but it should be interesting.
I'll
yeah.
give you Moose, but I've got transfer market up here.
No,
The player they have listed as a left winger for us is Edwards.
Yes, that's true.
you think
His entire career, he's been a wing and midfielder, not a defender. We just kind of made him one. Yeah, I mean, he would be seen as the guy, but
no?
No way. And this is the Jennings show. Like, hey, which tells me
I wanna
Duke
see
plays
Jennings.
too because he works well with him. So, yeah.
But don't
All
be
right,
surprised if you see Edwards up top.
Bob loves him. So you never know. He could be goalkeeper the way Bob loves him. So we'll see what happens there. Ox, your predictions for up top, does that make sense to you as well, that we're going to see the Moose and go see Cal?
Yeah, I see that happening. I mean, I'd go. I mean, it's gonna actually, if you think about it, it'll probably work out better for us because you don't think that Casey's gonna be focused on Chicho and not actually putting much attention to Cal or to Moose, especially Cal because he hardly has gotten a chance to play for us as much, and he deserves to play for us. He's deserved it more than Moose. But who else are we gonna go with?
We really don't have an option, to be real. No,
So, I mean-
the kids that would have gone in they're all international travel, right? The young kids. So
Yeah.
this is what we have. Now, I like where Marvin's head is at here. He's arguing for the 5-3-2. And why he's arguing for that is I think the striker situation, right? And the midfield doesn't change, right? It's just taking one guy off and putting another guy in the back. But who's your other option in the back? Who goes out there if that's the case? If you guys had to go with a 5-man back, who sits or who goes out there?
You could put at
Ibiaga?
Yeah.
So then,
yeah.
So then you'll be Ibiaga in the center because he's not going to be on the outs. Who goes to the outs then, right?
Farfan and
Fall.
Yeah.
The other
Is
way
that
you could do, you could go back to traditional 4-4-2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Harvey could be center back, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could, potential. We'll see. Who did Marvin say for the back line? Ibiaga plays right back. Keep him at center back. Fall. Yeah, so this is what he said for his. He said Farfan on the right, Murillo, Fall, Ibiaga, and Raheem. I'm just going to say this right now. I don't ever want to see Raheem as a left back for the rest of the season. No, the LAFC FIFA cheat code of losing games in the last minute, he doesn't belong on that side late in the game. Now, I don't want to see him in the first 20 or the last 20, anywhere defensive at all. That's where my head's at right now with his situation. So
run a 4-4-2 with him in the middle.
Dude, I would always go default 4-4-2. Like, you know how to play this, guys. Like it sounds lame, but less mistakes, that's for sure, but not as dynamic, right? We want certain things from these guys, certain overlaps and all that. And 4-4-2 is kind of like there's some limitations related to that. So, man, everybody likes the odd man rushes and all that fun stuff. So there it is, guys. We have the debate whether it's a 4-3-3 or 5-3-2. If it's a 4-3-3, Edwards is your sub as a striker at some point in that game. So the story is, where do you want to throw Edwards? That's our conversation today, everybody. Do you want him as a left back, or do you want him to come in as a reserve striker late in the match? So, yay, that's your options. No reason to fret, no reason to cry. We're missing a lot of players. I'll say this. You're like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna say this. Everybody's freaking out about this match. We're gonna have all these problems. There's gonna be all this trouble for us. We have all these players missing, and I'm gonna go. Watch out. Why? They're missing players that hurt them more than what we're missing right now. You're like, really? Do you really think that? Yes, I do. Salawi, Kinda, control things for them. Control tempo for them. Are dangerous all the time for them. They're going to feel it worse than us in their lineup in this match. And they lost Bucio this year. They're beatable in this match, even with all these guys missing. Our team, on the other hand, yes, there's some inexperience. Yes, it's a little hodgepodge, but our central core in midfield is still strong. Duke can pull strings, especially with guys he's been playing with all year in Jennings and Musovski. He pulls strings with those guys. That's not bad. Blessing is good where he's at. Atuesta's good if he's healthy. He looks tired right now, but he's there. Look at the back line. That's our weakness. We know this. But if they play within themselves and don't try to do something stupid out there, they're okay, right? They're okay. Fall, we're all happy with Fall, are we not? We're okay with Ibiaga. The other ones are a little mystery, but there's that. We're fine with Romero. Up top, yeah, what are you going to do? I will say this with Jennings is he's hungry. He prescribes to the system. He's a poacher. And he gets a chance in a team in a game where they've already told us they're going to be overlapping their backs continually to press us, which gives Jennings a chance to head way out wide and catch him on a counter. It can happen. I can believe in it. That's for sure. Looking up top, Chicho's had his moments, and Musovski, you never know which Musovski's showing up. If he's on for the day, we're in a good play. Right, Bam? Tell me about the Musovski story.
He's either deer in the headlights or he's just running through the field.
And that's kind of the story. Yeah. I mean, Ox, what's your take on this match? What are you predicting? Not score-wise, but our chances good, bad? Should we look for surprises, or we should just batten down the hatches and prepare for a few extra beers at the end of this thing?
I'm hoping for surprises. That's what I want. I want miracles to happen. You know, I mean, with this, because I mean, who do we have that we could actually count on besides them? You know, I'm just hoping for the best. I always do, and I mean, like as a supporter, you know, of the club, you always have to wish for the team to do good. You don't want them to go out there and act like they're chickens with their heads cut off. But I don't know. I just want them to win, man.
Right.
I want them to win. I mean, like you said, KC's missing some of their players too, but it's part of the game. You know, things happen here and there, and we can't really predict what's going to truly happen. So let's just hope for that win. That's what we want. We want them to win.
If Vancouver can get a win against us, anybody can. Or, you know, you can shock anybody. So there's that. Tony, what's your impressions of the match?
Same thing. I think of everybody just hoping for the best. We just need, honestly, I don't care if it's a 1-0 draw, 1-0 win to a 10-9 win. I don't freaking at this point. Like, we just need a win, honestly. Doesn't like everyone who's there going to show up. They're gonna prove why they still should be here for next season, because honestly, this game is not for the starters. It's for the people below the starters to see if they're going to stay next season, because at the end of the day, our season is not over. We're still in the hunt, which is thankful. But but again, we need to see where do we have, what do we need, and then do we keep who we have? And so at the end of the day, we need the 3 points, but they're going to show up. The people on the field are going to show up and put the best out there.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't do that 2-man bizarro midfield like we've seen before, we're going to be okay, right? Keep it simple. Kiss method all the way, and then we'll be good. So I'm going to throw this over to our supporters, our amazing supporters that always back us and come on every episode and do their thing, of course. The big boy of them all, I'll just say that right now, is Marvin Chavez. Chavez, of course, says he feels pessimistic about this game, but this can be one of those type of weird games where somehow we pull an upset against the odds, hoping for the best, but like I said, pessimistic. Okay. Lemus, expecting a Cal Jennings signing tomorrow. We are too, sir. We are too. Mark says, it's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to be singing my heart out regardless. Mark's birthday, find him. Wish him a happy birthday. There we go. Happy birthday, sir. Jason Ibiaga definitely will be in. That's his prediction. Thinks Ibiaga gets the start on the day. Marvin Chavez, I would do a 5-3-2 with Farvan, Murillo,
Fall,
Ibiaga, Raheem. Okay. I think it would probably be Murillo in the middle and Fall next to him. That's probably what we'll be looking more at if that's the case. Then we've got... Here's the interesting: if the subs need to be made, will Bob sub in Harvey? I think in the middle. If it's a 5-man, then he comes in late in the middle, right? If need be, that's for sure. Duke, anyone? Yes, we love Duke. Duke, good with me. Marvin Chavez. I saw Ibiaga play right back too, but I keep him at center back in a 5-3-2. Well, there we are. Middle, Blessing Atuesta, Janela, or Crisostomo. That was his.
Hey.
I like Roberto Espinoza. Duke gets a yellow for sure. I agree. I think Cal's getting one too.
Yeah.
Cal's definitely get one. And Edwards will get one for arguing.
Always.
Cal will get his yellow card after scoring the 93rd minute winner, taking his jersey off.
I like that one.
I like it. Still more love for Jennings from Jason. Jennings. There we go. Marvin Chavez. Arango and Moose will start. Cal subs in the 5-man system if it is the 5-man system. We have no wingers. Other reason to do 5-3-2, which uses 2 strikers. We will see. We will see. Both make sense under this extreme situation. I will say that between Marvin's and the 4-3-3, they both can work. I just don't want to see a 5-2-3, and I'm just be mad at everybody. Don't come near me; I'll be angry. This is an opportunity for players to stake a claim while starters are away, and also hoping not being predictable shakes up SKC. That's from Mark. I think he's correct. They have no way to plan for this lineup. They really don't.
Yeah, you look at it too. They're going to be as surprised as we are with the same lineup. Like, oh, who's this kid? Oh, who's this kid? We have him.
All right. What is this all about? Are we calling up somebody from Vegas? I don't know. Marvin Chavez, I don't like Raheem, but we go 0 choices. Him or Harvey, I'd be okay with Harvey. Honestly, Harvey he's not a liability. He hasn't proven to be one, but he's not going to get pressing up there for us like we'd expect from our guys in that role. That's the catch. Carlos C says, Farfan Murillo, Fall, Ibiaga, Blessing. The return of Blessing as an outside back. Laugh now, cry later.
He can't do it.
He's done it.
Yeah, he's done it. I like him better in midfield, to be honest.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
But you look at it too, going, if you need, with him going outside back, you can't play a 4-4-2, 5-3-2. You got that extra movement on the field. You can change it like that.
Yeah, I think we need his leadership in the middle. We definitely do. Carlos calling Atuesta, Janela, Duke in the middle. That'd be tough with those two because they just don't get enough play time, I think, to anchor. Moose and Chicho up front. I think those are guarantees no matter what the lineup looks like. But it's Moose and Chicho out there. They've earned their minutes, right, over time. Just time served. Not form, but time served, right?
Yeah.
Mark Lopez. Edwards can run drills. He can take the ball up, move the ball, but he can't transition to a solid pass or shot on goal. I've always said there's guys that are scalpels and guys that are hammers, and Edwards is definitely a hammer in this footballing world. He's not. You're not going to see the silky passing. You're not going to see no. It's going to be the guy that goes and mucks things up, gets into it, makes it happen, doesn't think about where he's passing the ball. He just does it. He acts on it. He makes it happen. It's sometimes impulsive, but what it does is defenders are not settled in when a guy does that. It creates chaos. So it works in many cases, especially on counters. So there's something to that. Mark Lopez says, I want to see Marvin on the pod. I hear I'd like to hear his takes out loud. Hey, Marvin, you're invited, sir. You want to come on? You were definitely invited, my friend. So, Marvin, I want to go on. Hey. I think we have an arrangement here. I'm not a good spokesperson, though. Oh,
Have you heard me? Have you heard me?
Yeah, bro.
I mean, look at Ox over here. He's got like a puffy piggy behind him. I don't know.
It's an octopus.
It's an octopus.
It's an octopus. Each leg representing a player out for this week.
Exactly. Marvin.
I got all these plushies over here.
Dude, like I said,
I know where you're at. There it is.
I was gonna say, Marvin. Like it's you don't need to be a good spokesman. To be honest, it takes a while to get comfortable in front of the camera, but so you don't even have to worry about it. No one's gonna be like, he's not this. It's literally you know how this show goes. That's
Marvin.
Yeah, exactly.
We're 200 in and we still don't know what we're doing. So don't worry. It's fine. I barely hit the buttons right at the right time. It's good. David Cortez, can I give the squad I have? No, you can't. You're not allowed. Kidding, sir. Always allowed on this show. Yeah, David calls for the 4-3-3. There we go. Carlos C. Blessing will be in the midfield most of the time as a wing, but wingbacks outside mid. We'll say that. Jason Lemus. Tomorrow's definitely a huge game. Can't go 9 straight games without a win. Plus, we can't depend on the teams ahead of us that they'll lose. We have to control our own destiny. I don't want to be the bottom with Austin FC. It's scary with a loss. We're in the technical relegation zone if we had it. So scary. David Cortez, hey, be nice, man. Wait, man, all love, dude. If you want to give your lineup, you're always welcome to give your lineup. We love reading off lineups, man. It's all good. Don't even hesitate. Just throw it out there, man. We are good. Dude, I'm telling you, tomorrow could hurt real bad, but it could also surprise you with some of the talent that we have that's in depth. I really do feel it will be okay at the end of the day. We'll have a better performance from this lineup than we had the last time they were in town. That is, it can't get worse than that, guys. Seriously. It can't get, it better not get worse. So, honestly. So, thank you everyone for the comments that they've made today. Absolutely amazing stuff. There's some good positivity from all. And Marvin, now you have to come on this show and you don't have a choice anymore. So that StreamYard link will be sent to you in a very, very near future. And then it's live, my friend. Yes, bring it. No, well, dude, we actually would love to hear from you. So good stuff all around. On that note, of course, the tradition dictates that we do. What do we always do at this point? Yeah, the final comments of the day. And you see their faces whenever I say this because everyone's like, I don't want to be the first guy. Here's the deal. Time served plays a role. So the guy with the shortest name has to go first, and that would be, Ox. So, Ox, you have the final comment. You're the first to go.
Let's get that win. No. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, well, it's already tomorrow over here, but I'm not going for it like looking towards a loss. I'm actually looking towards, at least them trying to get us that win. And I'm hoping we get to see the other players that we don't see, starting for us actually do something. So I'm just hoping we get that win. I know we are all hoping for that. So let's get that win, man. Give us that win, help the supporters scream even louder and louder in celebration. Give them that win that they deserve to see at home. So just put it out there, boys. Give it your all. represent that crest and them colors. So
Earn it. Earn it.
Yep.
There it is. Love it. Good thoughts, Ox. I like it. I'm going to bring this over to Bam now. Go for it, my friend.
Final thoughts for all the players that will be playing that don't really get a start. It's your time to shine. It's your time to shine. Go out there, do your thing. You know how good you are. Let's put that on the field. But you got to think about it too. At the moment, Bob's contract is till the end of the year. We might have someone lined up already that's watching our games. You got to prove to them that you should be here for next season and seasons onwards. If not, we just sent Rossi to Fenerbahce. Got those clubs looking too. Show what you're worth, especially the young kids. Show them that you can step up. Show them that you can do this. And you too can be off to Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, England, somewhere. So just go out there, step up. The 30-52 will be there, stepping up. Go out there and step up.
We are giving our all. That's for certain on a Friday night. Good stuff, Bam. Well said, my friend. And I think that's an excellent point. Like, Bob's on the end of his contract, but how many of these young kids don't have a contract next year either?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. The guys loaned to Vegas. Do you really think they have an extended contract in the next year? No. A lot of these guys, this is it. This is their one day. They get to really show what they got. So good things. We'll pass this one on to Tony, my friend. Final thoughts, sir.
Just the same thing. Just get the W. Like, let's move forward and get better. Thank you, Rossi, for the memories, everything. Like, there's nothing. I wish you the best because you gave us so many memories. Is the best way to say it. And on that note, yeah, thank you for that. For people who have Apple TV, if you want some funniness, of course, Ted Lasso, new episode tomorrow, or for Ox today.
in an hour,
Yeah.
we're going live. In an hour, Ted Lasso's next episode is on. If we could only buy ourselves a Roy Kent, that would be a dream for me. Yeah,
I would love to
there
see
it
Roy
is.
Kent.
Well said, Tony. I want Roy Kent. Even as a Falconer, I'm good with that. That's good. That'll be good too. So, we all love Ted Lasso. It is what it is. So, final thoughts from my end. One, thank all of you guys for sticking with us into episode 201. They just keep on going and going and going. That's what we do best. We've had so much family come on, especially the last episode, and now Ox is on as well. We have a few others that we need to come on that have been on in our past to really complete an extended 200 out, right? To get everybody in. We almost had Junior for this one, almost had Fresco. It looks like they'll probably be on for the next one as well. Apparently Marvin could be spending some time with us, so all good things. For those of you going to the game, remember, this is a tough time for us. And this is the time when supporters are needed the most. Not fair weathers, supporters. This is when you get louder. This is when you do the crazy stuff. This is when you get nuts. You make it your job as a fan to push the guys that are there, because this weekend's lineup is not the multimillionaires. This weekend's lineup is the guys barely hitting six figures. These are the guys that are trying to make it next year, to make it, to be there, to dress each week rather than getting sent to Vegas each week. They're trying to find a way to stay. So they're young, they're desperate, they're hopeful. They believe in the system. They believe in Bob. Okay, so this is going to be probably your most enthusiastic lineup we've ever had. Whatever the talent base is, this one is there to prove something. We hope they can organize and make it happen. The good, the bad, they need us. Mistakes and all. This is the raw group. They need us. If we get down on them, it's going to be a long night. But we keep pushing them, it could be a really good one. On that note, I would tell our veteran players that you're in the lineup. You're going to have some different guys around you. Be the leaders and keep it simple. That's all we need. Especially you, Murray. We love you, man. We know your abilities. We know everything about you. We love you, man. Let's keep it simple for this one, man. You don't have to do too much. Just lead. That's all we're looking for in this one. And to the rest of everybody, staff and all, nothing but love to you all. On that note, represent the club well. Wear your colors tomorrow. If you can get away with it at work, do that too. And at the end of the day, what do we always say, guys? On three. 1, 2, 3.
Stay
Stay
golden.
golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.